Welcome back to the Mountain Man Medical YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the TX2 Tourniquet by REV MedX. This is a tourniquet that's newly released on the market within the last couple of years or so. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the pros and cons of this particular tourniquet and whether or not it'll be a good purchase for you. So stick around. We're going to talk about that next. So a little while ago, I reached out to the REV MedX company and asked them to send me their TX2 tourniquet so that I can take a look at it and review it. And they did. So they sent it out to me and I like what I see. Seems like a solid tourniquet. It's TCCC approved, which is important. If you don't have that TCCC approval, then most people don't even give the tourniquet a second look. There's a lot of different types of tourniquets out there on the market, but only a very few of them actually carry the approval of TCCC committee. So they take a look at all of these tourniquets. They evaluate it to make sure that it will actually occlude the arteries. It'll stay in place where it needs to be, and it'll be an all-around good tourniquet for combat applications. So these are designed for combat applications, but they also work in the civilian world as too. And most people want to see that TCCC approval before they purchase this tourniquet and trust it with their life. Now, no tourniquet on the market is perfect. Not even if you love the CAT or the SOF-T Wide or whatever the tourniquet is that you're thinking about. No tourniquet is perfect. Everything's got its own problems and flaws and the things that it does better than other tourniquets. And the TX2 is no different. It has its own pros and cons, and we're going to talk a little bit about what those might be. Now, we're going to start with the pros, and then we'll move on to the cons. Pro number one is that this strap is nice and wide. It's a 2-inch strap, whereas the CAT tourniquet is 1.5 inches, I believe, I'm pretty sure. And the same with the SOF-T Wides. So it does have a little bit larger of a strap by about 1/2 inch or so. And that's good because the larger the surface area of the tourniquet, the more quickly and the more completely it will occlude the artery. So that's why you don't want to use something like wire or something really thin to apply a tourniquet, because it'll cause a lot of extra nerve damage, tissue damage. It's far more painful to the patient as well. Now, the other thing I really like about this tourniquet is this ratcheting system. You don't have to do any detailed movements or anything. You just grab it and pull it and it ratchets itself down. So if you're in a very high stress situation and you don't have those gross motor skills, all you do is just cup your hand on it and just start pulling at it, and you're probably going to get it tight. This is also good because if your hands are bloody, then you're able to get a good grip on that and it won't be an issue for you to get this tightened down. Now, the other thing that I really like about this ratcheting system is that it's not a windlass. The windlass, like on a CAT tourniquet or a SOF-T Wide, works just fine, but I have had situations where I've been trying to tighten it down and my hands have slipped off and then it's just unraveled completely, and then I've just got to retighten it down. Not a huge deal, but it is annoying and frustrating, especially when you're under time constraints, like someone is bleeding out. You know, it doesn't add a whole lot of extra time. You just tighten it all down again and it's good to go. But at the same time, with the ratcheting system of like this, you're not going to have to worry about that at all. Once you put a click in it, that click's not going anywhere. So I think that's an added benefit of this ratcheting system. Now we'll talk about some of the cons, and these cons aren't really that big of a deal. I don't think that these cons should stop you from getting this tourniquet, but I also think that, like I said earlier, all tourniquets have their place, and there might be personal preferences that you have, or you might be using this tourniquet for one particular thing or another, and maybe this tourniquet will work better for you, or maybe the CAT tourniquet will work better for you, or the SOF-T Wide. It's just up to you, your preferences, and what your mission is. So if this is something that's going to work for you, don't let these cons get in the way of that. Now, the first con is that it's bigger than either the CAT or the SOF-T Wide. I've got the CAT tourniquet here, and side by side you can see it's taller, and of course, like we already said, the strap is wider. And the SOF-T Wide, we can also see it's substantially taller, although the REV MedX tourniquet is thinner than the SOF-T Wide or the CAT tourniquet. So there is that. You could potentially stack these on top of each other a little bit better, especially if you had two and you put them back to back. If you put one on top of the other, this way, it wouldn't stack quite as well. So if you put them back to back, you could make up for that lost space a little bit more easily. But if you're looking for something to like put in your pocket or something, then this might not be the best one for you. Or you're looking to carry a lot of tourniquets, then the TX2 might not be the best choice for you. But the SOF-T Wide might be a better choice for that because it's smaller and a little more compact. But that's kind of a minor issue depending on, what you want it for. Now, all tourniquets, you have to practice putting them on one-handed so that you know you can do it when the time comes and you need to save your own life. And one of the things that I think that the REVMedX lacks compared to the CAT is I think the CAT tourniquet is a little bit easier to put on. A little bit. I don't think it matters too much. It's probably more of a preference thing, in my opinion. I don't think that this is a lot more difficult or that you can't do it, or if you needed to apply it to yourself, you wouldn't be able to. But I would just think, in my opinion, there's a slight advantage to the CAT over the TX2. And lastly, the biggest con, in my opinion, is that the TX2 is more expensive. We're sitting around $38.95 from one of these from the REVMedX website, whereas the CAT tourniquet and the SOF-T Wide are both sitting at about $30. So you do have a price difference of about $8 there, $9. So if money is an issue for you and you're trying to put together a good trauma kit on the cheap, then the TX2 might not be your best option. I would rather go with the CAT tourniquet or the SOF-T Wide. In my opinion, cheaper is always good. I'm not a rich man. I'm always going to try to go with the best quality for the cheapest price. And I feel the CAT tourniquet and the SOF-T Wide both hit those wickets. The last con that I see for this is that you'll need some sort of elastic band to keep everything tied up and in place. It's very similar to the SOF-T Wide. I recommend putting on some Ranger bands to kind of keep everything nice and neat and collected so that it doesn't come unraveled and become a tangled mess in your medical kit. But when you compare it to the CAT tourniquet stays together a lot more. You're going to need some sort of a rubber band or something to kind of keep everything together if you're going to put it in your medical kit or drop it into a cargo pocket. So there is that small problem as well. All right, now let's see how we're going to get this put on. And you can see, I'm going to apply this to myself one-handed. And we have here a thumb loop. And if I'm going to put this on somebody else, or I'm going to put it on my own leg, I'm going to use this thumb loop to hold the tourniquet in place while I crank this strap down. You can also use your teeth if you're applying it to your own arm. And that's how we're going to try that out right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop this open. Going to loop it around. I'm going to position this loop closer to my face so I can grab it with my teeth. And then I'm just going to pull on the strap and tighten it down. And I'm going to try to get it as tight as I can first before I start to ratchet it. And now I'm just going to start cranking at it. And just like with the CAT tourniquet or the SOF-T Wide, we're going to keep cranking on this until we get full occlusion of the artery. And I can feel it. It feels pretty tight right now. And I have full occlusion of the artery. And I can guarantee you this feels more comfortable than the CAT or the SOF-T Wide. It's still not comfortable. It's uncomfortable for sure, but it's more comfortable. So there is an added benefit for that as well, especially if you care about your patients, which you should. That's it. That's how you apply it. That's an easy day. Now, we want to get it off. How do we do that? Simple method. There's a little tab here. You just hook your thumb, a finger, whatever, this white tab right here, lift up on it, and it releases the tourniquet, which you can then pull it off. And there you have it, guys. This is the TX2 from REVMedX. This seems to be a very solid tourniquet. It is TCCC approved, so much smarter people than me also think that it's a very good tourniquet to use. And I think that you couldn't go wrong with this one. I think if this is one that you would like to include in your medical kit, I think this would be a solid choice for you. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you learned anything today. It's a free way to support the channel and helps me keep these videos coming out to you. And head over to mountainmanmedical.com and pick yourself up a Yellowstone or a Wind River trauma kit and be ready for whatever the mountain throws at you. I'll catch you guys in the next one.